Today I thought that I would do a softly spoken ramble with some fluffy mic sounds. So right now, I am filming this, and it is a Sunday evening, 7:37 to be precise. It is still sunny outside, because despite the fact that it's not officially summer yet, it is kinda summer. Or is it officially summer and I've just completely forgot? It's passed me by and I haven't noticed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Before I press record on this video, everything was silent. That doesn't guarantee that I'm gonna have a completely uninterrupted recording session, however. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't ever work that way. But let's not tempt fate by talking about all the catastrophes that can happen. I should state at this point, before I go any further and get in depth to talk about anything, that I do have memberships if you wish to join, where you will get exclusive content and access, early access before anybody else. Okay, I think that we have plugged enough. I'm not really a fan of plugging things too much. Sometimes it can be overkill. But then, sometimes I don't plug anything, and I wonder why nobody joins. Like, nobody joins because they don't know. So I've made a promise that in every single ramble, almost at the beginning, I would say, hey, I have memberships. I think you should check it out. And then we can move on. We now have actual members, by the way. Yes, we do. No more is it a barren wasteland. Silence. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. We have members. And you should definitely join if you want to. And if you don't, and that's okay. So let's move on now. Let's move on. I put out a video on Saturday night because while I record this on Sunday, the next day, I won't put it out on Sunday. And I hoped it would do quite well. I really did hope. But, as always with YouTube, you can never quite be certain. So, this afternoon, I took a little gander, a little look, just a little peek, just a little peek, to see how I was doing. And do you know, only 110 views, and I must admit I was disappointed. Not in a devastated way, but still. It's strange how I can spend, say, 9 minutes recording some audio and spend 20 minutes editing, and that video can get over 1,000 views in 24 hours, randomly. But when I spend like 3 hours editing a video, it doesn't get pushed at all. It just doesn't get pushed. And hardly anybody gets notified that it's there. That's the annoying thing about YouTube. Sometimes you can work the hardest on something and it can do the absolute worst. And it makes you wonder whether there's any point to actually working hard when if you work less, you can get more. It kind of encourages bad behavior and anyway, if you haven't watched that video, you should go and watch it. Because, even if I say so myself, it is very good. It is very good. Very good. It's very good. Very good. Good. And last week, Twitter was full, absolutely full of news about the writers' strike. And while I'm always in support of writers getting more money, because I know writers get paid dirt and used a lot for other people to get richer, they are essentially a tool. I say they, we. People support when it's in LA, when it's in California, when it's something big. They don't actually support it. As a whole. If we talk about apps, reading apps, visual stories, like I have done a few times on this channel, there was a app, a very successful app called Lovestruck, and the writers were paid a pittance compared to the amount of work that they were expected to do. And they went on strike. Of course it didn't work, it failed. And not long after, the app shut down It's no longer in any app store. You can't download it. All the stories are gone. But the writers were never paid their dues. Yet were expected to write a lot. And that's one of the annoying things about people. They are quite selective in what they support. For instance, it often gets tiresome when people expect representation of LGBTQ peoples in everyday TV shows, films. Not because they want it. No, not because they want it or it's done badly, but because they don't actually support independent creators who are doing exactly what they want. I used to get frustrated because I am one of those writers, and you get very little support. You kind of have to learn to do without it. And then you log on to social media and you see people going crazy. And I always have the same question. Okay, cool. But do you support independent creators who make exactly the content that you are asking for? The answer is always the same. No. And my point in that is this. TV shows, movies, I've mentioned it so many times. They are essentially trash. Now, there's no stories to be told, no imagination, no love, no nothing. It's just and those are official networks. For a while now, I've been just away from that and found that I don't miss it at all. For instance, for the last 2 weeks, I've been obsessed with watching football documentaries on YouTube. And these are not made by big corporations like the BBC, not made by people who are paid vast amounts of money, not paid by people with millions of followers on Twitter. Just normal dudes who built a channel. And I have had far more fun watching those than I have for a long time. But it's the same on YouTube as a whole. You have their documentaries, real life things, cooking shows. I mean, one of my favorites is Emmy Made in Japan. I'd rather watch her than any TV cookery show. And then there's let me see if I can get his name right because I always get it wrong. Steve M. are a 1989. If you like military rations, then you know who I'm talking about if I got it wrong. Steve MRE, 1989. I love his videos. I'm always mesmerized by the fact that he had a military ration from 1901, a British Army ration from 1901 from the Boer War, and he ate some of it. I think it was some of the chocolate, but still I'm in awe of it. Just, he did that. But I think what I'm trying to say is that, you can settle and you can beg for this and that when there are people making what you want, making it right now, and you don't have to beg, you don't have to plead. It's all right there. Sometimes I think it's a very, elitist is the wrong word, but judging that if something is smaller than the big corporation, that it's not enough, it's not good enough. I disagree. Before I started recording this video, I watched Isabel Imagination's new video for today. I've said this before, but there are some ASMR artists that you really get excited when they release a video, and she's one. I have to watch it right away. And this time she did it with no editing. How did she do that? I would be too scared. And it's Sunday, so by my deduction, ASMR Amy should also have a video out later tonight. Which is always good news. Always good news, always good news, always good news. I used to like her vlogs that she did on her vlog channel, but I guess she doesn't do them very often. There are some people that you can just listen to forever. Their voices are so just pleasing and relaxing. I think that way about her voice. It just makes you think about accents, really. Everybody has one set example of an accent from every country. Hers isn't exactly how one would expect a German to sound. It's soft, soft, soft. It's almost like everyone in the world has only two ideas of what a British accent is. That's either insanely posh, the Queen's English, or Cockney, as illustrated by Dick Van Dyke, which wasn't really Cockney at all, really. I began writing my ramble for my history of the World Cup. I must say I am really super excited about doing that. It may be a little bit long. I'm trying to rein in. I want to put all funny and interesting, sad stories, because there are so many things. So many stories attached to the World Cup. Attempted kidnappings, arrests, theft, a dog that found the World Cup and saved the day, murder, deceit, affairs. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's mixing two things that I love: football and history. I like doing the rambles, but I do like to have subjects that I can just talk about forever. Talk about forever, talk about forever, talk about forever. And I did ask, because football is one of those polarizing things, isn't it? Either you love it or you hate it. Some people weren't keen, but like I said, I understand that football is a polarizing thing, and some people hate it. Hate it. But it's not just about football. Not really. It's about the stories and the history of the people who devoted their lives working class boys who were 1 minute in their back gardens or fields or whatever they were, kicking a ball, dreaming of being the next Pele, the next Bobby Moore, the next Maradona, the next Lionel Messi. And in one day, it happens to only a few, a very small few. And along the way, they set a mark for themselves. And that's what interests me, those stories, because they are so fascinating. You think initially, oh, it's just some guys on a pitch kicking a ball, to and fro, to and fro. And then you realize that to had to do something, or fro didn't do something. Like the Colombian player in the 80s who missed a free kick or a penalty, I can't quite remember. And was murdered. So many stories, not just bleak, some funny, some hilarious and funny. Some heartwarming. How about when the World Cup was stolen and it was found by a plucky little cheeky dog? We've been going for 26 minutes. Yes, 26 minutes. That is a long time when you have to sit and speak into a microphone about something, anything, who knows? It's a long time. It's a long time. And do you know, just to end this video, I just turned my YouTube on, and what do you know? Right on time. ASMR Amy. I told you. I think that for tonight that is enough. And I will say until next time. Until next time. See ya.